Let's talk about it. Hi,
I'm Garcia.
I'm Telly.
And we are the HerCastleGirls.
Hi there.
If you like videos about entertainment, pop culture, fashion, lifestyle, this is the channel for you. You go ahead and you hit that subscribe button. Welcome to our channel. And hello to all the new subscribers.
Hello.
Great to have you
So
here
good to have you.
with us. Today,
I mean, Avi, I think you must know by now. If you didn't know the
if you
intro.
didn't hear the intro, we are going to talk about Wicked.
OMG.
We went ahead and saw the flick this weekend, and of course we have to talk about it. So if you have never seen it, either the movie or the Broadway show, and you don't want to know what happens, maybe you should not watch this. We might spoil some stuff.
We'll try not to.
We're trying not to, but you never know what might happen.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about the oranges of... The oranges.
I love oranges. We love oranges.
Yes, love oranges. But we're going to talk about the origins of Wicked, where it came from, and how it came to be that it is now one of the biggest movies of 2024. So let's get into this.
Let's get into it.
For those that are wondering, okay, where did Wicked come from?
Yeah.
This is going to be the quick little summary of where Wicked came from. So, Wicked is a musical based off of the book from 1995, Gregory Maguire's novel called Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West, which was based on the 1900 novel, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And therefore, Wicked is based off of what we all know as The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. If you haven't read the book from 1900, you have seen the film, of course, starring the lovely Judy Garland. And as a child, I think we watched that about 6,000 times.
Yeah.
The musical is the perspective of the two witches. That's right. Before Dorothy ever came to Oz, there was a whole thing going on between Galinda and Elphaba, who were basically grew up as friends after a lot of different things that happened. We're going to go through each theme in this film because, yes, at the very surface, this is a musical about, it's basically a prequel to what we know as Dorothy meeting the wizard. But Wicked goes very deep. It's very loaded, and the film did not hold back. Wicked does star Ariana Grande.
Yep.
Stars Cynthia Erivo.
Yes.
Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, Michelle Yeoh, Jeffrey Goldblum, and Boeum Yang. And let's just say, I'm going to say it at the top, the casting couldn't have been better.
The casting was supreme. Everyone, like, you know when you go to a film or any show, TV show, film, whatever it is, and even a Broadway play, and you know the person, like, you know Ariana and Cynthia, Ethan, like, you know these people, Michelle, and you're just Jeffrey Goldblum, come on, and you know them as actors, but when you see them actually playing these roles, you forget who they are. Like, and they delivered. There was no disappointments.
No, not disappointed.
No.
Actually surprised at some of the performances, how well they did.
Yeah.
And the movie also visually is spectacular.
It's like magical.
If you need your visuals to be stimulated, you need to go see this.
That too. Like, we went VIP style. You'll see in our video. We did the thing. We went VIP style. We got food. Guys, that poor food. It was watching us because we were so mesmerized in a full theater. That's right. When we said it, the theater house was full.
It was full.
And thankfully no one sang. The sound, the costumes, the delivery of everything. It was beautiful.
From
everyone,
the background actors and dancers, all the way to the star of the film.
Amazing.
Everyone was super talented and excellent in this movie. Kudos to the casting directors. They did it right. I don't know who could have done this role better than Ariana for Glinda.
Oh, geez. For those that haven't seen it yet, she will have you in stitches.
I had no idea Ariana was like this. And Cynthia, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, Cynthia needs her own segment.
The first thing we wanted to talk about is the relationship within family. This is the reason why this story is a story. We have a young girl at the time who was Elphaba. Elphaba was born green. And because she was born green to the governor of Munchkinland, he despised her because she did not look the way he needed her to look. She was dismissed. From the moment he saw her, she was dismissed. And it's funny, when she was dismissed, this is when it was realized that she had magical powers. And because of the color of her skin being green, and this is why I keep saying green, because you're going to tie these things back to the reality that is of now. She got bullied a lot by other neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
She didn't really make any friends. So she grew up very lonely.
She did.
And
her best friend was her sister.
Nessrose. Her sister, yes, was paralyzed. And we find out throughout the flick. Now, because of Elphaba's green skin,
yes,
she was bullied a lot by neighborhood kids as well. So she kind of grew up in a very lonely state. And her only friend was her younger sister, Nessrose, who also had her own trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Being paralyzed from the waist down. It's kind of where they're coming from, their life experience. The big question of the film is, how did Elphaba become the Wicked Witch of the West? Because what we loved about this film was how it showed that people's circumstances can turn them.
It can.
And by the end of this film, you say, oh, shoot. She's not evil because she just wanted to be bad. She basically was put in the position to be. And we're going to get deeper into that because there's a lot there. Even though Nessrose, Elphaba's sister, had this disability, she didn't seem to get the discrimination that Elphaba was getting.
Right, because she's not green. And that's the thing, like, scratch the or read between the lines, as they say. You really see that the green represents certain communities.
Yeah.
Certain people.
Marginalized communities.
And just like that, you know, Nessa was still accepted, paralyzed, she can't walk. And that's fine. And it should be fine. Now, if Nessa was green and not able to walk, technically it should still be fine because she's a human being. For Elphaba. She's smart.
Right.
She's eloquent. She's well-spoken.
Yeah.
Those glasses?
Right.
She knows fashion. Yet, she didn't even have to say anything and people were already just like, no.
Humans understand why someone's in a wheelchair.
Right, so either it's accident or
but
you're born that way.
Humans, we discriminate most based upon what we don't understand.
Exactly.
We don't understand why she's green. So therefore, if we don't understand it...
There's a lot of kids growing up in these very same circumstances. And we love to say this around here. You know, Ted Bundy wasn't born evil. He wasn't.
No.
Something happens in someone's life to just make them become the spawn of Satan. Monsters aren't born, they're made. And when you see this film, you're going to see, like her was saying, you're going to see exactly what made the Wicked Witch of the West so wicked.
The idea of being manipulated for your gifts. Elphaba was obviously naturally gifted at being a sorceress. And because it was seen that she was so good, Michelle Yeoh's character, Madame Morble, who saw the gift in Elphaba.
I love that her name is Morble, because if you put an H in front of the M instead of the M, it's horrible. And you'll learn. Ooh, you gotta see the film.
And she saw her and said, oh, she's talented. She's perfect for an actual evil thing that we need to do. But
she tricks her.
I'm going to get her to trust me. And she does. Yeah. She does trust Madame Morble. And we end up seeing what happens in that relationship where Elphaba learns that she was being manipulated for her talents to do the exact opposite of what she would have wanted.
Elphaba is fighting for something, and it's a good thing she's fighting for. The cause that she's fighting for ends up turning against her.
And The wizard, now, for those that have seen The Wonderful Wizard of Oz or read it, you know that the wizard is not a nice guy.
No.
He is actually a showman. He is one that creates propaganda. He, you know, and it's interesting because, listen, life is imitating this
whole
so
film
much right now. And how he just keeps on tricking people into thinking that he's a good guy. Another theme would be people pleasing. And I think this is more so towards Glinda than anyone else in this film.
Yes. Glinda, ooh, she's a cutie. From the moment she comes onto the screen, you can tell that something isn't right. You know, beyond the beautiful long hair, beyond the pink outfits, it's giving Clueless.
Yes.
But like extreme.
Extreme.
Like even her friends, everyone in the school worships her because she puts herself on this high pedestal that, you know, if you're not friends with her or she doesn't like you, you have no friends. You have no friends. You're not accepted. And she's so desperate at the same time to belong that she'll do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything.
This is the basis of why the relationship between Glinda and Elphaba becomes the famous relationship that we know, where we have two sorceresses who one is the good witch and one is the wicked bad one. Glinda has a lot to do with how Elphaba turned out.
She does, subconsciously.
Subconsciously. Of course, Glinda is the reason why everyone in the school hates Elphaba. And in an effort to embarrass Elphaba, she gives her a gift. A gift that's actually, I mean, it's tied to, like, as soon as you think of witch, you know what
you know what it is.
You know, she gives this to her and
as a joke,
telling her, yeah, you should totally wear it to this party. Poor Elphaba shows up wearing that to the party.
And is humiliated.
It's actually, we were talking about this part in the film. There's a part there where Elphaba...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Elphaba is laughed at by everyone at this party. And to cope, she starts doing a dance. Mm-hmm. And when she's doing the dance, they're all like, what is she doing?
Yeah.
Like, she's crazy. And they're laughing even more. And she has tears coming down, and as she's doing this dance, Glinda starts to feel away because I don't want to spoil it.
Don't spoil it. Something happens where
Glinda finds out that Elphaba did something for her that was really good. She comes out and she starts doing the dance with her. So now they're both doing this dance, mirroring each other. Mm-hmm. And this part is where the allyship comes in. Because with Glinda doing the dance with Elphaba, everyone else is like, oh, they're both doing the dance and they look so great. Oh, I want to do the dance too. And everyone else starts doing the dance. And this is when Elphaba is accepted by all of her classmates. But what it also symbolizes is why allyship is so important.
They did start dancing with her. You could also kind of see, because she's still, you know, tears streaming down her face, you could still see that it was something being lifted.
Yeah.
Because for all her life, as we know, she was green. Remember Kermit the Frog, it's not easy being green.
Right.
Mm-hmm. She's been green all her life, never been accepted. And now finally, after, we don't know how long how long they've been in school for, but she's finally seen that people are now running to her aid and actually accepting her. It was, guys, we cried.
Yeah, that was the part where
I was like, you are not gonna have my tears come
started flowing because
you kind of relate to it.
It was so relatable.
You relate to it.
Anyone that's a part of a marginalized community, anyone that's ever been bullied for their entire school career,
you will relate to it.
You will relate, and it might even be a bit triggering for you. If you have your 10 and 11, 12-year-old kids, maybe bring them to see this movie. I think it will teach them a lot about the idea of allyship and why it's important to stand up for your friends or people that might not be exactly like them. Yeah. There's also this sort of theme of advocacy, the idea of standing up for what's right. And I think in this movie as well, there is this whole other part that's going on that has a lot to do with Elphaba and her morals and her beliefs.
Yeah.
And it has to do with animals. And this idea that animals are being put in cages, being silenced, regardless of how great they are. But it's just like, you're an animal, in a cage you go. So again, this can be very triggering for people that are of marginalized communities.
Yep.
Go in there knowing that you might cry, you might snap. Elphaba is not about it. Elphaba is like, this needs to change.
This is her cause. This is her main
this is her
cause.
Elphaba thought that the Wizard of Oz was going to help her. But she finds out that he's probably actually the originator of a lot of what's going on.
Yeah.
Which sparks this hatred between her and the Wizard of Oz. And of course, the Wizard of Oz, using his voice, he begins to make her look like she is wicked.
Hence the title.
Hence the title. Which also leads me now into that next theme of the danger in meeting your heroes.
Who they always say, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it.
Yeah, and maybe you don't. Some people, they always say, they're like, I can love this person from a distance. I don't need to go meet them.
Yeah.
This is the case with Elphaba meeting the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is put on a pedestal, as we know.
Yes.
And everyone is celebrating her because she's going to meet him, because she's, this gifted sorceress. However, she meets him and her world literally crumbles. The day before she met him, she was on the highest pedestal. Everyone loves me. And then
by the time
she meets him, and now she's seen as, she's a felon.
She's a felon.
Basically.
She's running. She's a fugitive.
Running for her life.
Or flying for her life.
On a broom.
Hence the beginning of our... Okay. The beginning, we're playing the track and
defying gravity.
Elphaba,
I think, kind of... And it's a hurtful thing when you meet someone for the first time in real life that you've always idolized.
It's rough.
Meet them, and then you're like...
It's hard.
Horrible.
And I feel that, everyone has met that... Even if they're not, to say, Brad Pitt, not to say it's like a Denzel Washington.
Right, like a Hollywood star.
Right. Mm-hmm. But just meeting, maybe you've known someone, that you've seen them from afar, and you think, oh my gosh, that person is so cool.
Yeah.
And then you get the opportunity to meet that person. Maybe it's a person that inspires you, and it's the complete opposite of the story you made up in your head. Elphaba's case, she felt like, when I meet the wizard, he'll solve all my problems.
Right.
My sister will be able to walk again. He'll hear and understand my cause.
Right.
And the world will be a better place.
Yeah.
And those are good thoughts to have. She had good intentions, but she learned sadly and quickly that your good intentions for yourself that's not anyone else's heartbeat. That's your heartbeat, but not his.
You see the people that she envied most, which was Madame Morrible, her friend Glinda, and the wizard. All of them in one way or another turn against her. When she entered the Emerald City, it was the most beautiful thing in the world. Yep. There were firecrackers and fireworks for her.
There was a play. The original
with
OGs.
The original cast.
Of the Wicked were there. They were singing to her. She was, got their nails done.
Yeah.
You could be at the party having a great time, and then you blink, and all of a sudden, everything just changes.
It can change. Along with these themes, we have the most awesome music. Wicked came out in 2003. Mm-hmm. So the music is actually stuff that you've probably even heard and didn't know that it was a part of the Wicked soundtrack or the Wicked theater show. I want to take a second too to just shout out Jonathan Bailey, who most of us know from Bridgerton. I had no idea he had this in him.
Did not know. That was news to me. I'm not the biggest Bridgerton fan. When Cara's watching it, I'll glimpse a couple of times, but I do know that character. And it was eye-opening.
I had no idea. His acting ability, which I knew he could act.
A great actor.
But the dancing and the singing, the dancing was not...
It wasn't laughing at. Yeah, it was
it wasn't an easy, it was real,
It was choreographed.
It was like the backup dancers for someone like Usher.
Yeah, he was body rolling.
Yeah, who knew that Jeffrey Goldblum could sing the way he sang?
Jeffrey Goldblum has that vibe where he's cute and old, but there's something the Silver Fox. Yes. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know he's like, oh, yeah, he's a zaddy. I can remember when he walked for Prada and all the ladies were just like, okay, Mr. Goldblum.
Bowen Yang, he was hilarious, which, of course, Saturday Night Live star. There's just
all of
when the film ended, I literally looked at Telly and I was like, that was loaded. Because there's a lot. You've got these stars that are killing it.
The background dancers and actors, everyone's giving their 100%.
The visuals are beautiful. And then you've got these strong themes that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Everything is timed so well. Even the songs, if you're not a big musical fan, you might still enjoy this.
You may still like it, yeah.
The songs aren't so long that you're like, oh my god, they're singing every sentence.
Yeah, because even like the slower songs, because they sing it with so much power, you don't feel bored. Like you're totally invested in every word they're singing, and the songs are all so relatable.
So relatable. The lyrics are incredible. The music and lyrics is by Steven Schwartz.
Oh.
I think the most heartbreaking thing about this story is that we all know what happens with the Wicked Witch of the West, of course. We understand, we know what happens to her, but seeing the relationship dissolve between Glinda and Elphaba was very heartbreaking.
It was.
As well.
And you see the pain in their face as well. And that's the sad part too, because of Glinda's people-pleasing, she ends up in her own predicament, siding with some people that didn't even have faith in her to begin with. Glinda is, once again, the people-pleasing. Even when you think she's going to finally get over the people-pleasing, because they need someone else now, because the Wicked Witch of the West has now been created, so they just turn to Glinda.
Yeah.
And Glinda does, with no hesitation, because she wants to belong to something so bad.
Yeah, she wants to be a sorceress, and I need people to do what I say. I need to get my way. Like, there's literally a line where she says, I didn't get my way. I actually think it's important to see this film, not only to be entertained, but to also get you thinking about, well, you know, what of the relationships that I have and what created me to be who I am today? Oh, well, that person's bad because.
Yeah, but they don't really investigate. Bad? They don't research to say, okay, fine, that person is bad. What made them bad?
This film, it's a lot. And because it's a lot, it ended with a nice to-be-continued screen. So
it did. So look out for part 2.
So there will be a second part which we kind of figured because it's already a 2-hour, 30-minute film.
So make sure that get your snacks, use the restroom before you go in. See it VIP because honestly...
Yes, if you can.
Those chairs.
See it VIP. It's a great film to just lay back, listen, relax, enjoy the music, enjoy the visuals, enjoy the acting, and get a few laughs too because it's also hilarious.
It's so funny. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope that you guys do go and see the movie Wicked. If you've seen the play, you're gonna love the film.
And if you've already seen it, go ahead in the comments and tell us what you think about the film. And of course, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you watched this video to the end. Of course, we'd love to have you join the family. So check us out on Instagram as well. The handle is HerCastleGirls.
Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you in the next video. Bye!